Hello my people, welcome to another tutorial. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this cardigan for yourself. You can make it in any size. It's based on measurements, so I'll tell you which measurements you need to take so that you can make this in your size. I also have a written pattern updated on my Etsy shop. I will leave the links in the description box. It's quite easy. It's made using sport yarn and the Chevron peephole stitch, which makes it lightweight. So let's get into it. So for this tutorial, I'm going to be using this yarn from Durable Yarn. It's called Durable Comfy. It's very silky, by the way, and it is 100 grams. I'm using 4 colors, and each color I'm using 2 skeins, so that's 8 skeins for my size. It is 266 meters per skein, so it's 100% microfiber acrylic. It's very silky. It's sport yarn or size 2 yarn. You can use any other yarn that you have. It recommends a 3 to 4 millimeter hook. I am going to be using a 3 millimeter hook for this one, 3.0, and you'll need a tape measure and a darning needle, optional. But yeah, so these are the colors that I'm using, and let's get into it. I will leave the link for the yarn in my description box. So the cardigan is going to be worked in 5 panels. We have 1 back panel, it's just rectangles, 1 back panel, 2 front panels, and then 2 sleeves, which are also worked as rectangles, and then we just join everything together and that's it. So we are going to start with the back panel, and this is my back panel. So we begin here at the bottom and work our way up, or whichever you want. So I'm beginning here and working my way up, and we'll begin with a foundation chain that is from here all the way here. But if you can see, my back panel is about 23 inches wide, yeah. However, my foundation chain was about 25 when I started, so it kind of shrinks 2 inches, so keep that in mind. I started with 25, but in the end I have 23 inches. So I'm going to show you a sample of how to do the pattern. So I will not chain all this, I will just chain a little sample because it's the same. You just have to, add the number of chains to make it your size. So for your foundation chain, we are going to be working multiples of 10. So it's 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 stitches. So you're going to take your shoulder to shoulder measurements. Mine was about 15. Shoulder to shoulder measurements. And to your shoulder to shoulder measurements, you're going to add 10 inches. So I added 10 and became 25. Okay, so if you have like 18 inches of your shoulder to shoulder measurements, you add 10 to that, it will be 28 inches. So that will be like your foundation chain. So measure from one tip of your shoulder to the other tip of the shoulder and add 10 inches to that. So that will be your foundation chain. And once you're done with the foundation chain, once you work the pattern, then it will reduce a bit, like 2 inches reduction. So it will, since we are working multiples of 10, of course it will not be exactly like 28 inches or whatever, because we are working multiples of 10. It can be like 27 or 29, depends on what you feel. You can either have it less or more. It can be 27.5, and that's okay. All right, it doesn't have to be exactly like 28 or 25 or something like that. It can be less or more, and it still has allowance. So because we are working multiples of 10. Okay, so let's start with the foundation chain. You already know what measurements you need to take. So take your shoulder to shoulder measurements and add 10 to that, 10 inches to that. I'm using inches. So if it's centimeters, then what's 10 inches in centimeters? It's about 26 centimeters. So shoulder to shoulder measurements plus 26 centimeters or 10 inches. So we are going to start our sample. I'm just going to do 30 chains for the sample. So this is going to be, make a slip knot, For you, you're going to chain as many chains as your measurements plus 10 inches, your shoulder measurements plus 10 inches. For me, I'll do 30 chains. So it's going to be multiples of 10, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For me, that's 30. So for you, continue 10, 10, 10 until you have the measurements that you need. And then once you have that, then you're going to start on row 1. So you're going to yarn over and you're going to skip the first 2 chains. These 2 chains will count as a turning chain and as a stitch. Okay, so these 2 chains will count as a stitch. Skip 1, 2, and into the third one, you're going to make a double crochet. Okay, so this turning chain is our first double crochet. Now this is our second double crochet. Then you're going to yarn over and go into the next chain, make a double crochet. You have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's our third stitch. So our 4th stitch, and then into the next one, you're going to make your 5th stitch. So the beginning is 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets, and the turning chain counts as 1, so that makes it 5 stitches. Okay, now we're going to make a valley, and for us to make a valley, we're going to skip 1, 2 stitches, and then into the 3rd stitch, you're going to make a double crochet. So go into the next 3 stitches and make double crochets in those stitches to make it a total of 4. All right, so these are 1, 2, 3, 4, and the beginning is 5. Okay, so every beginning will be 5, and then the rest will be 4. So chain 2, we need to make a peak, so chain 2 for that. And now in this very same stitch where we have our last double crochet, you're going to make a new double crochet like that for the peak, and then you're going to make a double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4 in total. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we need to make a valley. So yarn over, skip 2 in the 3rd one, make a double crochet, and then make 3 more double crochets to make it 4. So we have valley, peak, valley. Now we need to make a peak, so you're going to make 2 chains. In that very same stitch, you're going to work a double crochet, and then double crochets in the next 3 stitches like that. And then now we need to make a valley, so you're going to skip 1, 2, and into the 3rd one, make a double crochet like that, double crochet in the next one, a double crochet in the 3rd one, and in the 4th one, you're going to make 2 double crochets at the end so that we are matching the beginning. So the beginning should be 5 and the end should be 5. So I'm going to insert 2 double crochets in this last one. So that's 4, and now in that very same stitch, I will insert my 5th one. So this is how it looks like. Okay, I have 5, then 4, 4, 4, 4, 5. So of course, if you have a long, it will be very long. So yeah, okay. So now we are going to go to row 2, and for row 2, you're going to chain 1. This chain 1 will not count as a stitch. Okay, so yarn over like this, and then in this first stitch here under these 2 loops, you're going to go in and make a double crochet. That's our first one. And then in that very same stitch, this will not count as a stitch, this is our first one, and then in that very same stitch you're going to make your second double crochet. So now we have 2 double crochets, and now we are going to work until we have 5. So that's 2. Now 3, 4 and 5. So like I said, every beginning we have 5 double crochets, and then like before we are going to skip 1, 2, and into the third one you're going to make a double crochet. So skip 1, 2, and then double crochet in the third one for the valley, and then this is my second one, and the top here we have my third one. But like before, we are doing 4 double crochets, so you're going to yarn over, and in this chain space here you're going to make a double crochet like that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we need to make a peak, so you're going to chain 2, and in that very same chain space you're going to go in and make a double crochet like that, and then you're going to make 3 more double crochets. So you're going to go on here, make a double crochet, that's our second one, this is our third one, and in the next stitch make our 4th double crochet. Okay, so now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we need a valley, so skip 2 in the third one, and then in the next, that's my second one, my third one, get at the top, go into this chain space, make your 4th one, chain 2, go into the same space, make 1, and then make 3 in the next 3 stitches. So you have 4 double crochets, and now skip 2, make 1, make 2, make 3, and in the 4th one, which is this one right here, you're going to make 2. So that's 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 5, so go back in that very same stitch and make your next double crochet. I want to change color, so I will not complete that, but if you're using, I don't know, your color pattern, you can change your color pattern in any way that you like. I was just doing randomly. Okay, so now we have 5 and 5 on this side, but in between we have 4. So now I need to change color, and I think I went with this lime green. So to change color, I'm just going to take my new color like this, pull through like this, need scissors, cut part of this yarn, the first color, cut it off, and I'm going to just tie like this twice, and then you're going to chain 1 as the turning chain like we did in this row 2. So now it's just a repeat of row 2. So chain 1, turn your work, and I'm just going to work these strings along. So chain 1, and in this first stitch here I'm going to make 2 double crochets. It's 1 in that very same stitch, 2. Okay, and then I'm going to go 3, 4 and 5. Like we said, the beginning is 5 stitches, so I have 2 in the first stitch and then 3, 4, 5. I carried my colors so that it's easier when I have to weave them in, but I'm going to lose them here now, and I'll weave them in later. So now you skip 2, and into the third one you just continue to do this, and in this chain space like that, and then chain 2 just like we did in row 2. 2, 3 and 4. The valley, you skip 2 to the third one, you make a double crochet, and then you make 3 more double crochets. So I have 3. Now the 4th, you go into the chain space, make the 4th, and then you make a peak, chain 2, same space, double crochet, and then go ahead and add 3 more double crochets to make it 4, and then you skip 1, 2, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and then the 4th one, see this, yeah, you're going to do 2 double crochets. So it's just a repeat of this pattern. Of course yours is longer and mine too is longer. I just did a sample, and you just chain 1 and start over again. In the first one you put 2, and in the last one you put 2. All right, so it is as simple as that. You're going to continue doing this until you have the length of the cardigan that you like, and then I'll come show you how to do the front panels now that you already know how to do the pattern. All right, so this is my back panel. It's long and it's about 38 inches long. Okay, so that's my back panel, and we are going to determine, once you have the length that you like, then we are going to determine what we need to leave here. So I put stitch markers because I'm leaving about 30 inches in between, so it's like 2 full peaks, and then half of this and half of that. So I'm leaving 30 chains in here, so which means on this side I just did 1, 2, 3, 4 full peaks, and then of course 5 chains on this side and 5 chains at the beginning. That's my front panel. So as you can see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then here 5 on the other side. Same as this side, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 on this side and 5 on this side. So it will depend on how the total of your peaks here. Okay, so we are leaving this much. Let's say it's about five and a half inches. Okay, so that's how much we are leaving for our neckline. Okay, and then whatever is left there is what you will crochet for your front panel, of course making sure you have 5 at the beginning and 5 at the end, and then these are full peaks in there. All right, so it's the same pattern like we already did, like I showed you. Same pattern, just less stitches, and make sure you have the same number of stitches for your front panels, both of them. And yeah, then we are just going to join them to the back panel and then do the sleeves. Oh, and I just thought about because I have an even number of these peaks. I think I have 12 in total. So in case you don't have an even number, like you have 11 instead, then here you can decide to leave like 1 peak instead of 2. That should also be okay. So instead of 2 peaks, just leave 1, then which means your stitch marker would be right here, and that is also okay. Okay, so to join this, I'm going to be using a darning needle. I'd left some long chain here, some long strand. However, you can use a slip stitch to join, or a single crochet, whatever you like to join with, using your hook if you don't have this. And I'm just going to join in every stitch, so I'll just go in here and attach this on this other end. Okay, and I'm going to be working like this, in and out. I think I'll join from out, in, out, in. So I'm going in every stitch like this until I get to the end of my work where my stitch marker is on the other side. If you're using a slip stitch, you just slip stitch in every stitch, of course on the wrong side, the side that you want to be the wrong side, because both sides look the same. And yeah, I'll meet you once you have both front panels attached to the back panel, so that I can show you how we did the sleeves. So for me it looks like this. All right, go all the way until you get to the end, and then you do the sleeve. You do the other side too, and then we do the sleeves. So for the sleeves you're going to take your tape measure and you're going to measure around the biggest part of your arm. For me it's around here. Your biceps, measure the biggest part of it. Mine is about 9.5 to 10 inches, and then you're going to add 2 inches to that. So I made about 12 inches for my foundation chain. It can be 12 and a half, it could be 13, you know, just add like 2 to 2.5 or 3 inches to that. And then you're going to do of course your foundation chain is multiples of 10, and then you're going to work those multiples of 10 according to the inches you have. And after that it comes to about, you know, it comes to about 2 inches less. Of course for me it's about 10.5, and I started with about 12.5. Okay, and you're just going to do that same pattern all the way down until you get to the length of the sleeve that you want. And for the length of the sleeve you're going to measure from your underarm here all the way to where you want it to reach. It could be here, it could be here, whatever. And then you will stop, and then you repeat the same process for the next sleeve. Mine is about 20 inches long and about 10.5 inches in width. Okay, so foundation chain is your biceps measurements plus about 2 to 2.5 inches, and then the length is from your underarm all the way to your wrist area. And then you repeat same pattern like we did for the back panels and the front panels. Do 2 of these, and then we'll attach them to the rest of the cardigan. So before we put the sleeves, we're going to sew in all our loose ends, and I'm just going to do it the way I do it. It's probably the most unprofessional way to do it, but this is the only way that I know how. So bear with me. If you know how to do it better, do it your way. I just, you know, go in like this and pull them through on the other side. They'll probably come out, but whatever. So I'm going to do this for every loose end, and then we'll come and put the sleeves. So you're going to lay it like this, and then you're going to take your sleeve, find your middle point of your sleeve. Mine is here, and then align it with the middle point of your cardigan, like where you join the back panel and the front panel. So I put a stitch marker for that, and then I'm going to put stitch markers on this side as well as on this side. So make sure the rows from here to where you put your stitch marker is the same number of rows from here to where you put your stitch mark on this side, and then you're just going to join from one end to the other end. And I have my yarn needle already here, so I'm just going to join. So I can take this stitch marker out if I want to. I'll leave a tail, and then I'll come this side, do the same, and then I'll go back into that very same stitch like that, so it's a bit secure. And now I'm just going to use the mattress stitch. So I'll go back on this side, and then I think I'm going like in the second stitch like this, then go to the other side like that, and then go up like this, and then go to this side like that, and then go up this, go to the other side. And you can join using a slip stitch if you don't have a darning needle, or join using your favorite joining method. Because I'm using different colors, why did I use this color? I could use blue, that would be even much easier. Making it hard on myself. So I just go up like that, like this, then go to the other side like that, and then go up on the other side like that, and then come to the other side and go up So I'm just going to keep doing this until the opposite side. Alright, so I'll do this until I'm here, and once I'm there, then I'll fold my sweater. I will show you once I'm here. So once I'm done with this, which I already did, then you're just going to fold your cardigan like this, and I'm going to start right here, join everything all the way to here, and then go all the way down to the bottom, just with the same stitch that I used here, or you can use a slip stitch if you're using your hook. And once you're done, then you'll do the same thing to the other side, and you'll have your sleeves attached and your sides sewed in, and that will be it. So here it is. I sewed in every loose ends, and it looks like this. I hope you like it. I love it. You can do this in any other colors. Of course, I chose these colors, but you can change whatever you want to change. Please don't forget to share, like, comment, and visit my Etsy shop so that you can shop the written patterns on there. So thank you so much. See you in the next one. Bye.